Bitcoin literally did nothing till that last moment. Just after the daily close, it started moving. And one of the primary reasons why it started moving is what you are watching in front of us. And we were thinking, like, there should be some movements. Just after we saw this, we had that thought process. And right now, we see that it was true. Liquidity came into the market and it is pushing the price of Bitcoin to the upside. And remember, there are economies which are getting crushed and their currencies are going through a worse time. So people are opting for this asset. One. Two, the institutional investments and all of those narratives are still picking up and still there in the market. The price action was showing us a lot of negative signs, strange signs on short-term charts, medium-term charts. And right now, here we stand. The price is still pushing to the upside. So you have to keep this in mind. You do see things in the chart a little bit clear here, and you haven't invalidated any of those. The price going a little bit higher at this point. Yeah, we do have our targets. Yeah, there are some measured moves left. But keep in mind, this is going to be an institution game. This is going to be a whales game. You see the Bitcoin dominance bouncing back up. That means altcoins are slow during this phase. Most of the breakouts would not materialize. For that to materialize, you need to see liquidity jumping into this market. A reversal would help us a lot. XRP is trying to bounce from this local support on an hourly chart. However, when you go on to a daily chart, you're still here. You haven't done anything in last 2 days. You're still here. So getting a bounce, breaking 0.68 is something interesting for us. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. Right now, we are watching a lot of these trades we posted earlier going through big numbers. We are literally watching a lot of these assets in the first 100, the next 100, the next 100, all of them doing big numbers. Now, this is a time where you see them riding. So if you take reduced amount of risk, it is going to be cool. You don't go heavy levered and you'll do just fine. The market is going to reward you. The moment you see the Bitcoin dominance reversing to the downside, that is where you will maximize your gain in a lot of different altcoins. They'll start to burst. Yes, on a higher time frame, you will still watch that. Say, for example, you take Bitcoin on a weekly chart, and this is what you watch. The weekly RSI is still showing you to the upside. Price action is respecting that. So when you're actually looking at the volume, you do see we had decent volume last week, but the candle size was bigger with lesser volume. So that means we have something wrong happening, or at least a little bit of weakness coming in the price of Bitcoin. With the same amount of volume, we should have done something same, but now with a higher amount of volume, we are doing something smaller. That definitely means either the sellers are doubling down. So that's why you literally zoom in to see, okay, is the bulls pushing things way ahead? As of now, no. Each time you reach close to 70,000, you are attracting a lot of sellers into this asset. And that's one of the reasons why we have been staying here for a week. Now, while you stay there, you're not actually trending down, you're trending to the upside. That's one fact to keep in mind. So yesterday, yeah, we had bullish volume, right? Not a lot, but still decent bullish volume. But that ended up just being a doji, meaning you didn't get much of a bullish action there. Sellers kind of dominated the buyers, even though the buyers had a lot of volume. So you have to think, if the ETFs, if these big guys, the institutions, they're buying heavy and they're dominating, why is not the price going up? who is selling on the other end because they don't literally have the mining supply to absorb that. That story is done here. You're literally watching someone is selling. Is it the retail? How long can the retail sell? Okay, maybe it's the retail whales, but if they have substantial amounts of bitcoins and the price hasn't slowed down recently, there should be some correction. But where would that come from? If you watch the price action, we got one slowdown here, another one here, and a big volatility here. So the next candle, when you actually decide to go lower, that should create some amount of panic. On a short-term horizon, for sure. When you're on a macro, like a monthly chart, you're not looking at that right now. For sure, you will argue the perspective that we're bursting through the skies and we still have a little bit more room to reach the 80s, 85s in the monthly RSI. That usually creates the top of an asset in crypto market. That's what we have seen. So while you are here and while you enjoy this market, keep this in mind. Right now on the Bitcoin dominance, what's positive for us is we're starting to make lower highs and lower lows. So if you bounce to the upside and again create another lower high and then go further down to create a lower low, you will watch some of these altcoins taking off. Now, literally, there is a ton of opportunity in the market, and if you'd like to take benefit of that, look at the Scientific Investor family with 1,000+ members, literally watching all of that's happening in that region. They are watching all of these calls, say Gala, say GRT, you name it. Most of those assets with proper volume. There would be some which are popping through, but literally very low volume and huge risk. I don't post those. It kind of gives significant risk for you guys, and I cannot afford to do that. So I take my time, go through the charts, look through the volume, the projects, and then if that's an opportunity, I inform you guys. Because in next 3 weeks to 6 weeks, you will see a lot of big candles, a big pops, and a lot of different industries, especially the gaming, the smart contracts, they're starting to take off. XRP, the payments, we're still waiting. And that's one of the primary reasons why I argue. While you wait on this asset, if you just sit there and wait, 1, it's irritating, 2, it's frustrating, 3, you may end up selling. So if you do have a trading bag which you're rotating, making great gains, 5x, 10x, 15x, 20x, if you're doing that on one side, that capital is going substantially bigger. 2, you're focused on that and you're learning more and making more gains. At least you have that. So you think about it. Either you just sit there holding this asset, maybe it takes few months, maybe it takes few years. But as of now, it feels like the years part is done. We may have few weeks from here. Now, I was personally thinking late Jan, early Feb. Here we are in March. So in the last few years, I've understood one thing. 90% of the other assets go at least close to my targets. XRP is the only one which deviates a lot on the short-term charts. Whereas this one gives you a little bit more insights on a macro chart. A weekly, a monthly, that still holds true. But again, the problem is one candle is a month. So you literally need patience for months. And that's the hard part in XRP. And most likely that will be what is the key factor in rewarding a lot of holders who held through last 4, 5, 6 years. There would be people who bought in here, 16, 17, right? I came in the market in 2017. I entered in XRP back in 2017, but I was trading. Now, here you are, you're getting this level of accumulation. Any break higher above this range will create FOMO. But as of now, we're not there yet. But at the same time, on last 1 week horizon, you're watching hundreds of assets doing 50%, 70%, 100% plus in this market. So you have opportunity if you look at the right direction in the right assets. Now, guys, if you're receiving value, smash that like button as we continue into the video. Now, you come back into the Bitcoin and you would like to take a close look at what it is doing. And how do you do that? You actually go onto a hourly chart or a 4-hour chart. You want to take a closer look of what really is happening in the price action. Here we are, we have a pattern. We had this thought process shared before. We talked about a possible breakout coming, a retest and a bounce. We did that. Now we're coming back down to test the moving average and we're bouncing. So if you break 70 here, again, that's putting in a new all-time highs. 1. 2, that provides you with a lot of media attention. 3, that provides more hyping around you, right? So the asset kind of literally shows maybe it's going to go to 72, 73, 75. That's still open. But at one point, there should be something which the chart is clearly showing you, a corrective leg in this market. So keep that in mind. When everyone talks about $200,000 Bitcoin or a $500,000 Bitcoin, think majority is not always right. So take that idea with yourself and try to be contrarian. Use the direction of the money or flow of money for your advantage. That helps a lot. Say you are on a weekly chart, you see this, you came to the upside and we're getting resisted here, right? This level is literally slowing us. We had one big candle to the downside here. Keep this in mind. So you remove all of those, just focus on the price action, one big candle to the downside. Since then, you took a lot of other weekly candles and you never bursted above that. So this is your mother candle here and the direction of that is to the downside, which for altcoins is huge. That's favorable for altcoins. But yes, we need to see a continuation to the downside, a break of this. We've been waiting for a few weeks here. If it breaks higher, retest and a bounce, that is not what we want in the altcoins. What we do want is a rejection to the downside, and at least that's going to give you some momentum. The time you see this breaking to the downside, that's where we will see a lot of momentum entering into the altcoins, the large cap altcoins, meaning you can look at others instead of XRP to look at the large caps and what they're doing. Because some of them are literally showing you they're trending higher. They're going higher, they're pushing higher. So when you are on a macro chart, you do have the right perspective. Don't just look at the 30 minutes chart every time. If you want to know what it's going to do next few hours, fine. That's the only way you can do that. But if you're projecting for next few weeks to few months of this bull run, make sure you use a macro chart and understand which direction that's going. That always supports you. So now you need a little bit of patience to see Bitcoin dominance reversing on a daily chart. That's where you should be doubling down on altcoins, in my opinion. If it's me, I would do that. Now, having some dry powder at this point is going to be very, very, very interesting point. If the price drops 10, 20, 30%, you can utilize that for your benefit to maximize your profit potential in this cycle. And if you are looking for great charts, updated charts on a lot of different assets, hundreds of them, you can look at the SI family, join the 1,000+ members and take benefit of this bull market. So guys, if you haven't smashed that like button yet, I would say consider doing that. And if you'd like to join, use the link in the description below of Patreon and the YouTube or on the bio on Twitter. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.